know it may sound funny, but people everywhere running out of money. We just can't make it by ourselves. It is cold and the wind is blowing. We need something to keep us going. Mr. President, pity on the working man. Maybe you're cheap, maybe you're lying, maybe you have lost your mind. Maybe only think about yourself. Too late to run, too late to cry now. Time has come for us to say goodbye now. Mr. President, have pity on the working man. Mr. President, have pity on the working man.
Part of me would like to say hello, but generally every single thing that's been going on in the chat currently has just been painful. Every single thing that has been going on in my Discord's chat is just agonizing. Why are you all the way that you are? I mean, I can't say that y'all. Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon. I write games for fun. But what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working more on Ancap, Cattrap's Magical Capitalist Adventures on the Lost Island of Thule. Bait. And we have some homoerotic tension currently happening in the chat. Alright, awesome. So, what happened last time? Well, last time we worked on units. We worked on how they work and generally kind of statted them all out to some various degrees. Today, though, we're working on the phase system, otherwise known as the main meat of the game. Now, one thing we have to worry, one thing that I end up did do, was commander skills. Now, you may notice there aren't actually many commander skills here. There's actually only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's only 11 skills here. These are your starting skills. I didn't really want to, like, have, like, a million billion skills for things that you wouldn't really benefit you. These are like some immediately, like, yes, you have aggressive maneuvers. All your units gain +1 movement. Your entrenchment. All your infantry gets +1 defense. All your archetypes get more health. You get an unmodified guard unit for free, so you get just a free guard. A lot of these little ones just kind of set you up for like how you want to do things. A lot of things to like augment infantry or armor. One thing is personal militia is like, yeah, these actually make militia decent. They're still not good, but they are like slightly better. But yeah, that's kind of just the most basic concepts of these ones. We're going to have a lot more later on, but I just needed something in there right now. So, the phase system. The phase system is pretty simple. All things considering, it's a pretty, like, simplistic-eyed... Fuck. No, we're not going to think about that too hard. But generally speaking, the phase system I have is with 4. Also, thank you very much, Iron, for subscribing at tier 1. Thank you very much. One of the big things about this is that I have 4 phases. The basic things is building, personal, crisis, and then finally the end phase. These are our 4 phases per episode. An episode is pretty much usually going to be a session, but it might be 1 or 2 sessions depending on what it is. But generally speaking, during the building phase, you're going to be, building is going to be expanding the barony. Personal is more of like the intrigue, Catboy shenanigans, and stuff. You wanna cruise around in your $1 million car as you just show off to other people? Yeah, sure, go for it. That's legitimately what it's about. Delicious. But yeah, generally speaking, like, personal is when the roleplay aspect of this role-playing game takes place. Crisis is primarily going to be the battle or something bad. If you want to do a quieter session, something bad is going to happen. That's kind of the idea of going immediately into a crisis. Something bad is going on that's going to change the nature of your barony if you don't do well in it, or if you do exceedingly bad at it. Then finally the end phase, which is just wrap up, payout, etc. That's kind of the basic idea. Important questions going from the chat. So we have note, is your Usi in this? No. Do you have a fat ass? I do not actually have a fat ass. It is somewhat of a problem. My ass is in fact flat. It is very sad. I do not have, in fact, a dump truck. No. None of that. None of that, chat. Bad, all of you. I will get the spray bottle. But yes, generally speaking, these are how I'm going to be kind of structuring the game more than anything. But we need to move on to this. I kind of just expanded out what this is, just kind of giving a basic rundown of each of them. But we're going to be moving on. The next section, which is pretty much like then quick phase, maybe introduce, speed things along. Generally speaking, actually I should say a quick phase. Quick phase, maybe introduce speed thing. Quick phases have the barons spend money. Have the barons undergo either a building or personal phase. Actually, undergo the building and personal phase. Phase again. Let's see. Quick phases have the barons undergo the building and personal phase again without first completing the end phase. These occur if a session is cut short or session is cut short, or other situations erupt. Other situations erupt that quickly place the crisis in. Other situations erupt that prioritize the crisis. It's kind of along the idea is you may not have the benefit of the end phase. Like if you have to cut a session short, you might go back and then be like, okay, you got a quick building phase, you got a quick personal phase, then we're back to the crisis. The end phase, Or, hey, if there's ever a moment where it's like, yeah, we're just going to do the crisis first because that's kind of how it leads up, you're allowed to have a little building phase, a little personal phase, and then we immediately go back into the... That's kind of all it is. Yeah, oh, gee. Oh, no. I know it's never good anytime I just see all green posting in general chat. Never a good sign, never a good sign. So let's see, thing 2, we're right at the, no, we add an image right there. We'll do the building phase. Building phase. Building phase. The building phase has the... let's see. Building phase has the barons collect their funds and resources. And like, okay, the building phase has the barons collect their funds and resources, allowing them to build new buildings, draft new, recruit new forces, build new buildings, recruit new forces, and sell off excess resources. I'm getting a phone call. I will be back in a second. Ah, what a beautiful door. Ah, I'm back. Alright. I am here. Okay, building phase. Recruiting forces and self-access resources. I want to work. Okay, during this time, the barons. Let's see. During this time, the barons take a macro approach to the management of their domain, purchasing buildings, managing their domain, as long as they have the space, funds, and resources, they will be able to perform. They won't be able to construct. They will be able to construct or root as needed. They will be able to construct or root as needed. Construct is root as needed. Let's see. See, the funny part is that a vast majority of the people who are problem children that I usually have to worry about in my server are the ones that usually don't give a shit anyway. That's great. Let's see. Luckily, nobody's hit the point of Ajax yet, but some of you are tempting my patience. Okay, construction of build. Constructing a building simply requires the necessary $T, or TC. Only simply requires the necessary $T, TC, or building material. Each building has an associated TC cost, as well as building materials. What? Building material. Each building has an associated TC cost as well as building materials, but due to the fluctuation of $T, the value are based off TC of trade current, based off the TC. Building materials can be produced in the barony. Building materials can be produced in the barony that allows the construction of buildings without needing to expend TC or $T. Actually, $T or TC. Using the resources as needed. The effects of a new building will take place during the. Let's see. The effects of a new building will activate at the end of the building phase. End of the building phase. Allowing the barons to instantly rake in rewards for their efforts. Yep. Raking the rewards for their efforts. However, what we do this, we do construction of buildings. Oh, hey, I'm getting told to run ads, so yoink. Let's see, construction buildings. How do I want to word this? How do I want to do? We go here, have all our buildings. If we use all our building, no, we do population infrastructure. It's real fast. Population. So everything. Oh no, this can't be everything. Where is production? Population infrastructure. Okay, everything's here. Okay. So construction of buildings. We do population infrastructure. I just reminded myself that I am a dumbass. Do here. Of you, we need to do this. We need to go up here. We need to select all of you. Maintain consistency. It's important. If you don't, you'll pay for it. This. Auto 8. Population increase. We're going to do building materials. TC cost size 1 by 1. Adjacent. Building materials. If we want to do the basic idea, building materials are going to be relatively expensive, so we do something like 5. God, I gotta double check what the fucking building materials things are. Building materials, about 150 TCs. 50 TC for one building material, so okay. No. Well, building material wise, we do something along the lines of like 3, 5, 7. So this is effectively 150 TC. Actually, no, we do something like this, because this makes it like, yeah, this is 150 TC to kind of like invest in these heavier, kind of these heavier residential things, or you can just spend the money outright. Actually, actually we do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, nice and easy. Squatter shacks are going to cost us 1. Tenement complexes cost 2. Villas cost 3. These may seem very simple because they are. That's the point. Supposed to be. Sort ascending. Actually, what am I? Residential light. Residential medium. Residential. Go. We ascending. Table properties. There we go. Population, and source. Grease. So we have the idea of like, okay, we're going to generate a lot of stuff here. You just need some decent building materials, and you can start building a lot of these things. Building materials, though, are expensive. We're going to pop that up to 4. So to... Cool. Alright, population infrastructure is easy to get. We're going to slap an image right there, which probably will be happening after this. Then we get to go all the way back up here. Select everything here. Down here. This is where we have to select everything now. Put everything in here. It's gonna be about the exact same. I just need to do this. Let me just double check to make sure that's all correct. There's some, as you can kind of see here, there's a lot more. But that's fine. Building materials, we do that black on black. Alignment, bottom, center. That again. Okay. So we need to building materials. Building materials, we all the way down here, and we don't need any of you now. So, cash crops, 1 building material. Catnip collector, we're going to say 221 processing plant, we're going to say that's a 3. Crop house, we're just going to say that's going to be 2 building materials. E-currency farms, we're going to say it's 5. 5 fucking building materials is quite expensive, but that means actually we can probably bump this up to be higher for building. 1 3 3 1 3 3 3 3 5 5 5 5 5. Actually 5, we'll do 6 6. Thule and commercial would be 5. We do 4 4 3 3 5 5. I'm feeling, actually no, I'm feeling 5 because we don't want people to get that too. I mean, I guess no, we do 4. Narco crops are going to be 1. Oil field is going to be a whopping 8 because it's expensive to get up and running. R&D facility, we're going to do 4. Ranch is only going to be 2. Actually, ranch is going to be 1. Ranch house is going to be... There we go. So we can get them pretty consistently across the... Wouldn't it make more sense that building supplies are subsectioned into the TC rather than having direct cost? The big thing here of what it is that you can produce building materials through the industry. You can also sell these as a material itself. So technically it might be cheaper for you, such as if you get heavy civilian industry set up, technically you can get with heavy civilian industry with building materials, you can get 3 building materials, for example, for 50 TC. At the end of every round, effectively, at the end of every episode, you're going to get 3 of these, and that means for only 100 TC, you might be able to get it a little bit cheaper. The best way to think about building materials is this is locally produced and a lot cheaper overall. However, TC cost is importing everything, and that's kind of more the raw, I would say, raw labor versus, it's buying everything versus buying just what's needed. That's usually the difference there. It also allows you to produce a different resource to use, as well as buy and trade with other of the local barons. It also moves into the military material, which does kind of the same thing. Mostly because we got all the buildings here. Yeah, so actually, buildings are, the barons are free to, seize buildings for repurposing. Repurposing if needed. It is after all on their land, on that that they owned. Let's see. The barons are free to seize buildings for repurposing. It's after all on their own land that they own. Buildings cannot be, quote, refunded by this way. However, cannot be refunded by this way. However, forcing, meaning that clever planning is needed to avoid quote wasted money. Wasted money. Yeah. Oh. So what this is effectively stating, what this is effectively meaning, that is, let's say, like on our example little map over here, this is our territory, this is our land that we have. If I want to, next building round, I could say, okay, I want to turn all this light standard commercial building, I want to turn all of this into financial. I want to turn all of this into residential district. I can freely get rid of this. I can just make it go away. It's gone now. And I can place something over it. I don't get a refund for what I spent there, however. That's kind of the back and forth with it. I don't get the benefit of it getting rid of it. So you kind of want to plan around things a little bit more. But it's like, hey, I don't want these tenement complexes anymore because these tenements suck. And they kind of are preventing me from making better things. Destroy them, but tear them down. Who the fuck cares? It's yours. So yeah, that's kind of like one of the big things, especially if you have a situation like this, for example, where you just build like a bunch of cheap things, you get a lot of money out real fast. You can destroy one of your catnip fields and place in a processing plant in the middle of it. You might not have been able to avoid that processing plant early on, but you just needed the money from all the catnip. So it's little things like that. You can maybe squeeze out a little bit of money just to get something else now or later. That's kind of the idea. But you're not going to get a refund for it. That's kind of the big thing. You're not going to get a refund. Let's see. Is there anything? Actually, I know what I can add. Financial District 3. By 1. Yeah, this is kind of a very awkward building, the financial district. Hello, phone. There we go. We build a financial district. 10 times Catboy. Yes, 10 times a Catboy. Technically, what I should do is to make this more efficient. This wouldn't be a worker, these would be Catboys. Delete that row. We above, we do this, make it all nice and pretty. There we are. Let's see. A building cannot be refunded this way, however. Cannot be refunded by this way, however. Lever plannings need to avoid wasting capital. Do be warned. These businesses and homes contain people who may be a little people who may be a little angered when their business or home is destroyed for a luxury casino. Hence entertainment. Like, entertainment's a little bit like vague on what it actually is. That's for a luxury let's do luxury condo. We slap a bunch of Catboys there just to reassert ourselves, but you know what? Oh no, all my things are gone. Fuck them. That's what I gotta say. Fuck them. Recruitment, actually. Region of the Hellcats and forced recruitment during building. Okay. Outside of directly improving their barony, the barons are encouraged to build up their military strength. By not only recruiting new units, but also improving their existing ones. Each unit can be freely upgraded or downgraded for different costs. To fine tune the force into a lethal machine, a lethal engine of war. Each unit recruited must be assigned a commander. However, each unit recruited must be assigned a commander from among the barons. Among the barons themselves. This not only indicates who they will be fighting under, but also who they are loyal to. Personal militias. Each of the barons are encouraged to build their ideal force, or jockey, or convince their fellow shareholders that they definitely need those extra tanks. Yeah, so it's one of those things about recruiting new units is very much the idea of, hey, oh god, this is actually a fail. Oh god, what's going on? Ancap citation the communist Catboy antagonist, and it happens. How does this actually work as a factory? No. little too luxury. I don't know what you're saying there. This is why you are deranged. I'm gonna open Schizoden. This was a mistake opening Schizoden. Let's see. Go to military unit. I believe I actually had every military unit posted outright. Yeah, I did have every military unit just posted outright. Be those extra tanks. Again, we can buy our very own morale, health. Actually, what we can do is we can do that, and then we're gonna post the unit name. We're gonna post the unit costs first. But instead of $T, we're all using military supplies. Because anyone can tell you, militaries run on their stomachs. Each similar to buildings. Similar to buildings, each unit has a military supply cost. Each unit has a military supply cost, which can be used instead of $T or C. Which can be used instead of $T or TC to purchase new units. Let's military supplies. You're going to be purchasing you have about the same purchasing power for these, so we want to make these armored cars. We're going to say everything armored is roughly going to be about 2 to 4. Like, so let's do 2, 3 bombers are going to be expensive. We do like 2, 2, 2. Fighters are going to be 3. Guards are going to be 2. Helicopters are going to be 3. Yeah, infantry AT, we're going to do 2. Infantry foot are going to be 1. Militia are actually going to be 0.5 military supplies, so you can get a lot of militia out very quickly. 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 2. Actually, no, we do 3, 4, 5. Actually, no, we do 4, 5, 6. Technicals are going to be 2. Terror squads are going to be 2. Vehicle anti-air, we do 3, 3. Let's be a little bit more conservative and dump up the money a little bit. We do 3, 5, 6. 3, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. Actually, no, we do 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 7, 9. I don't want people buying war tanks endlessly. Technicals, we're going to be about 2 because these are going to be technicals. No, we'll make technicals 2. Air squads is going to be 3. They're going to be on par with those because they're valuable in their own right. Then we bump these up to 5. Okay. We pretty much want to encourage people to invest heavily into things like militia. Infantry and foot is going to be just cheaper to buy. And you're going to be able to get about 3 of them per 50. I'm just going to ban delirium. I'm just gonna ban delirium. So sad. How much money to add a Vor factory for Luca and Dell? I mean, delirium, you're already in the game, so I mean, I don't really know what's the problem. I mean, you're right here, delirium. You're already a Catboy. So technically I should rename this to something a little bit accurate. Yeah. Oh, that's emotionally. Technically, if I want to be a little bit more accurate about it, if we again, let's just be a little bit more. This was before I knew you were French. Matteo Petit. There we go. Perfect. There we are. I don't know what you're talking. Delirium, for those who don't know, the one who my resident schizo racist, is French. I learned that he is in fact French. It was very, very sad when I learned about it. I almost gave him a special role of just being French, but we don't point out disabilities here on the notepad and on channel. Luca, you're Dutch. That's different. Luca, for those who don't know, is Walloon, which is like Dutch. It's the same thing, roughly, but he's a Walloon. You know, very, very proud Belgian, that man. Yeah, he's a Belgian pirate. Very, very. Yeah, Luca's a very nice person. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Luca's a very nice person. I've had no issues with Luca or his more strange additions. But he's been a valuable part of the Notepad add-on experience. Very nice person. Just Belgian. You are from Florida. I'm glad that that's become now an insult. You're like, you're from Florida. Okay, so like, you know what? I'm gonna do the tags here. I think putting the tags here is gonna be a little bit more helpful than anything. We're gonna do this. You should go to Florida now. Description. We need. Let's see. We need indirect fire, indirect attack. Indirect this, resist X, repair X, capture penalty X, advantage X, advantage, morale damage. It's going to do morale damage, penalty armor, advantage. Here's our basic. Ooh. Here's how we're gonna do this to make it even more jank. 10, just to make sure everything here. We do that. We hit the magic 8 button, and then we auto real fast, and boom, yada. Oh. Oh. Most likely I'll have to add more, but I need to actually like write the combat section first. Yeah, once combat gets written out, I can probably add a lot more here. So advantage X. The unit gains a plus 1d gains a plus 1d12, gains a bonus die d12 when attacking the unit. Actually, the unit gains a bonus die d12 when attacking the unit in both primary with their primary or secondary attack. Capture. The unit is able to capture locations, fortifications. Actually, locations. The unit is able to capture points of interest, and seize holds. Seize hulks and transports and capture supplies, something like that. Indirect attack. The unit gains a bonus to their primary attack if they are attacking via indirect fire by X. This the unit can attack any unit any unit within X tiles, even if they morale damage. The unit will deal morale damage equal to the die roll of their attack. So pretty much like the big thing with like the terror squad, for example, what the terror squad wants to do is the terror squad wants to get as many advantages as they physically can, because they might be able to do 12 morale damage, which is pretty big, mind you. So like there's a chance like they can rout units very easily. Like they can rout AT infantry, they can rout foot. But this is kind of the one of the things with terror squads is they have a penalty to armor and air. They're going to lose a die if they're trying to attack anything. So it's like their advantage is kind of limited against them. A penalty. The unit loses unit has disadvantage. The unit has advantage attacking a unit with primary secondary. Unit has disadvantage attacking the unit. Unit has disadvantage attacking the unit with their primary or second attack. Unit type. Repair 1d12 HP health. Let's see. Unit can spend an action to repair 1d12 health to an adjacent ally. I don't know what's going on here. Adjacent allied unit. That's new. That's new. That's not supposed to happen. Oop. What happens if I do this? Let's see. Can spend in action to. Unit type, unit by 1d12. So pretty much like you may be able to get like repair like combat medics, or you may like combat medics can repair infantry, combat engineers can repair armor. You may want to invest in things like armored cars, getting like repair armor, repair infantry, so you can repair, so there's like mobile medics. The unit, disadvantage to the, to any unit type, them with a primary or secondary attack. You give them disadvantage, but they give, so one of the big things here would be like a war tank, like for example, a war tank resists infantry. The AT gets advantage versus armor. They cancel each other out. You're just rolling a d12 now. So that's kind of the back and forth on that. Okay, let's see. What's been happening in chat? What the fuck? Okay, let's keep going. Let's rise and grind. Okay, so we've got force recruitment. What I'm gonna put in, we're gonna have to put heading 3. No, this would be heading. No, this would need to be heading fucking 4. Yeah, we're having to bring in heading 4, everybody. We're going to do 16, going on 17. Do force not enhancements. Actually, I know we do military R&D. Millions must live. Let's see. During the building phase, the barons are free to pursue R&D. This R&D, research and development. These when using, okay, R&D allows the barons to improve their units. Actually, military R&D training. Let's see. R&D allows the free to pursue. Research allows. Actually, research allows the. Yeah, no. And let's see. Barons are free and encouraged to invest in their military options. By increasing. Let's see. Increase their military options by manipulating. Let's see. During the building phase, the barons are free and encouraged to invest in their military options by manipulating, developing new variants of variants of baseline units. These new augmented units are These can be better, can be stronger, more armored, or increase, or have new deadly effects. They can also be cheaper, ramshackle, quick to build nightmare machines, that barely function, but don't break the bank. Has to be cheaper, ramshackle, quick to build, and nightmare machine that barely function but don't break the bank. Each when developing new unit, let's see. When developing new units, the barons will need to pay a cost equal to the augments they are pursuing. These allow let's see. The barons will need to pay a cost equal to the augments that they are pursuing. So expensive. These do not create a new unit. Simply edit the base template. Simply edit the base template of one, but the original template, the original unit can still be purchased. So pretty much, like, if I chose to, like, say, oh, I'm going to augment all our light tanks to do morale damage now, but we're going to do it by offsetting the cost by reducing the primary attack by a lot. You can still recruit basic light tanks. You just have to recruit basic light tanks and then do other. Then you just you can still recruit them, but you can also do the variant that you developed. Let's do. How do we want to do this? How do we want to? For right now, I might just no. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put this right here. Then we're going to do what we want to do. Because if we put it in here for, let's go to 4. So we want to be able to say no. What we would have to do is this. This would be how the table would be set up. This is what we'd be doing, and then these would be like the base statistics. This would be the TC cost. Yeah, this would be the trade currency cost, just because it's fucking expensive. Then we would have to do a different table down here, which would be this would be the what do I call it? Tags? Yeah, this would be tags. This would be tags, which we would have to do add X. Actually, I mean, we already kind of did something like this. If we do like add tags, we would be doing like add X. It would be add X, add Y. So you're kind of getting the gist. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do this, because this is gonna be one of those things we have to do for later. But this would be increase +1 TC cost, decrease -1 TC cost. Which we can also do. Then we could do. We can probably add some like special modifications, like like special modifications would just have like just a raw cost. You could do like consistent part. No, what would be standardized parts? Standardized parts, but there would also be a like a description over here. So standardized standardized parts, it might cost you, like fucking 50 TC. Actually, no, we can see, the thing is we can actually make these pretty high. So we can actually, so let's say it's going to cost us like 500 TC, quite a lot of fucking money. But it's like, okay, building military supplies cost -1. So military supplies go down by cost -1, but can no longer modify. Things like that, like little things that, like, okay, we standardized the parts, we can't modify them any further. So it's like, okay, this is like, I would say like things like standardized, we can actually bump that up to 1,000, fuck it. Things like standardized parts is like, okay, we've standardized the parts now, we can't modify this any longer, but it's a lot cheaper to actually build. Better, faster. I remember being given a new portable radio without need for the clunky packs. I wore 20 minutes in tutorial session. My petty elf just stared at me. Why are there delirium fighters? They can't. Oh no, these are literally a fighter regiment, like a fighter wing. Because yeah, like the problem is there was no good way to call it a fighter, like fighter planes, without just saying fighter plane. Like, and that sounds weird because I try to keep everything to about a word or two. So, and there's no other planes, so really. So yeah, these are technically your air wing. So yeah, this would be my idea. Like, the thing is, like, why I'm saying, like, oh, I can make these pretty expensive is... I should do... is because we actually have... there's a building you can build which reduces the cost. If you build the R&D facility able to upgrade units at half cost. It's a big fuck-off building. It's a 2x2 and requires 4 Catboys. But you can reduce it by half. So what I should do is does not stack. Actually, we're gonna make this. There we go. The R&D facility is a massive fucking complex, but it's gonna save you a lot of money. Cost 1,200. It's going to be. Actually, no. We're going to. Yep. Very expensive. However, you're also reducing all of these by half, so you can get these pretty cheap. You may want to rush down. You may want to get your R&D facility very quickly. You may not want to, because this might not be really a thing you pursue. This is kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily call this like a secondary mechanic, but it's clearly like a, if you want to engage with this, you totally can. If you don't want to engage with this, nothing is going to be like, break the game, really. And that's kind of the point. Like, nothing is, like, the game is still going to function perfectly. It's just, you're going to lose out on, like, a fun bit. Let's just say that. You trade a little bit of fun, a little bit of this bit, but you don't really need to worry too much. Okay, so let's go here. We want to do, Well, what would be a good... Oh, good. It requires 4 Catboys. Every time you say that note, I think I'm in a DMT-induced nightmare. Yeah, no, how do you think I feel? Yeah, how do you think I feel of making this fucking game? I feel like I'm in a fucking nightmare. It's great. The market of the cat economy, commodities, and the T market. Market forces. Market forces are. How do I want to word? Thule is powered by three things: the will of the concordant of the barons, the abundant natural resources, the abundant natural resources, and the market forces. The market of Thule is one of the last remaining bastions of a truly free market economy. With the Barons Concordant, the Concordant of the Barons, with the quote government of Thule being little more than a document, little more than a NAP, little more than a mutual being more than a mutual assistance pack, with the government of Thule being little more than a mutual assistant pact. The market has become the one true source of power. To the Catboys of Thule, they live. To the Catboys of Thule, the market is God. Market is God, and God demands commodities. God demands commodities. While the various baronies of Thule are still relatively young. The market all the barons are still relatively young. Most of the economy is a resource based one. Allowing the Thulean Catboys to extract the abundant natural resources of Thule and sell them on a desperate, hungry open market. This market, truly economy. Not cowboys, Catboys. Come on. Don't you lie to me. We're the Catboys of Thule. Market is God, to God demands commodities, so we want to do the commodity market. Actually, no, we want to go to White Hunters have the Market economy, freight goods. Price. What's a little to increase the freight supply state? Oh, buy once. Example, selling 800 units at ammunition at deficit release supply. So we want to go to. No. All right. So we're gonna have to write a new economy system, aren't we? For the Catboys, yeah, for the Barons of Thule, and their Catboy citizens. Let's see. Each commodity has a TC value. It can be bought or sold during the building phase. Starting out below are the starting TC values for all of the commodities. For all of the commodities. At the start of every session, there will be a supply and demand. Will be a supply and demand roll. Supply and demand roll of 1d12. Of 1d12. Start of every session, there will be a supply and demand roll of 1d12. 1d12, depending with the result depending on the volatility of the commodity. The barons can freely hold at the end of the building phase, the closing hours occur. Closing hours occur with a second roll on the supply and demand. Supply and demand with second roll on the supply and demand. If the end of the building phase, closing hours occur with the second roll in the supply and demand. Supply and demand table for each commodity. If a commodity is if a commodity is sold, if a if the commodity you have to think about that. So our basic commodities. Let's make some commodities, everybody. Like this. have to understand the basics of the commodities, TC value, current volatility, and volatility. Starting volatility. Whoop. So what do you need? Building materials, military material, oil. We have oil. We have narco. Actually, no, we have drugs. Actually, let's take drugs. Narco fields. Narcotics. Oil, it's going to be narcotics. Cash crops, animal supplies, animal products. Let's see, this would be animal products. Anything else? Look at anything else. Actually, I know what I can do. Where's my shitcoin producer? What would be a good, 'What would be good? It would be, KCs. 1KC, produce a kitty coin, KC, produce a kitty coin for the resource to be sold on the market. Open market. Kitty coins. We all like kitty coins. You know that I don't really know what else to call it. I need a cat pun there. What's a good cat pun? What would be a good cat pun? Cat pun. Not kitty coin. That doesn't sound that sounds bad. Bingus coin. Sees. Do some Bingus coin. Bingus coin. Natural resource common. Natural resource exotic. There we go. So TC value, oil is going to start at a grand total of 10 TC a barrel. Building materials is going to start at 2. Military materials is going to start at 3. Actually, I'm going to say building materials is going to start at 3. Military is going to start at 4. Narcotics are going to start at 6. Cash crops are going to be 4. Actually, no, cash crops are going to be... Let's bump you up there. We bump you up there. Cash crops are going to be 3. Animal products are going to be 2, but you're going to be... actually, 2. Bingus coin is going to be starting at 0 TC value. Bingus coin isn't worth anything. Common natural resources is going to be 2. Exotic natural resources are going to be start at 5. So starting volatility. Building materials, low. Military materials, medium. Oil, high. Narcotics, hot. Cash crops, medium. Animal products, low. Bingus nightmare volatility. Natural resources are going to be obviously pretty low. Exotic, we're going to be high. Starting volatility. Yeah, so next we need to do the volatility rules. And if we go here, volatility. How do we want to do this? No, we do three tables. We do high volatility. Actually, no, we do 5. Merge these cells together. So we merge the cells together. That we volatility charts. It's going to be nightmare high, dead, low, medium. Then we have to do the D12 chart, which the D12 is going to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to do negative. This is going to be, so we have, let's see, 2, 3, 5, 6. So for medium, we're going to do plus. It's going to be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 2. Actually, no, not even that. This is going to do negative 1, 1. This is, we're going to do 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. 0, 0, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. This is like our baseline. Low is going to be even worse. Like low volatility is not going to change very much, but we don't want it to change very much because that's the point of low volatility products. They're going to be consistent. You want things to be kind of medium or even low. So if we do something like 1, 1, 2, then we do negative 1, negative 1, negative 2. Like these aren't like dead. On the other hand, is going to be negative 1, 0, 0, 1. Like dead do not change, but that's fine. High volatility, however, we're going to do instead. We're going to do negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 2. No. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. But we also have the mass rises, so it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2, wait. No, we do 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. So you're always going to see some changes. While Nightmare, on the other hand, is going to be negative 6 on the highest end and plus 6. So you really don't know where the prices are going to go on Nightmare because they could skyrocket, but they just as much as they can just die. So to give you a basic idea of how this is going to work, we're going to start with building materials, for example. Building materials are low volatility. And start of the session, we take our little thing, we roll. I rolled a 9. We look at our chart, does not increase. If we were a Nightmare, let's say, for example, we get to the point where building materials are Nightmare volatility. We rolled a 9, this would increase to 7. So we've just almost doubled the value. So that's kind of how that works. Generally speaking, everything like around here is like you just glutted the market. Volatility. Linked. Something like Why are you the way that you are? Volatility amount. Let's do actually our volatility amount, D12 roll. Do something like that. Our basic D12 roll, the volatility amount. Actually, yeah, let's do this. I think this looks a little bit nice. So here's the D12 roll. If you are in nightmare volatility, this is what it is. So our basic vol. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase this by 10 because I think it looks gonna look a little bit nicer, just to help separate things out a little bit more. D12, you determine this, then you determine all these things. We have our basic volatility and how things are going to be working. If you're working with Bingus coin, if you go hard on Bingus coin, because that's the idea. If you go hard on Bingus coin, what you can do is, like, if you roll well, you might be able to actually get some money out of it because it's from nothing. You might be able to produce something. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're making it, boys. We're making it. We're making Bingus coin. Basic volatility. Side note. Affecting. Don't need that. We. No, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it a side note. We're gonna make side note affecting volatility. Affecting market for. Generally speaking, the market is always in flux. Something so difficult to pin down with ease. That doing such is a fool's errand. However, if the barons are able to affect the market if they either withhold significant amounts of resources or glut the market with them. If a barony sells, actually, barony sells more than their current. How do I want to? If barony sells more than the roll of the die, then they will increase the. They will decrease the volatility. They will decrease the volatility as the market stabilizes around the new amount. If a barony withholds, actually, if no resources. Actually, how do I want to word? How do I want to? How do I want to do this? sells more than roll a die, they will decrease the volatility of the market. So pretty much like you're kind of stabilizing things if you're selling like an excessive amount of it. Actually, if the barony sells during when the market opens, roll a d12. Roll d12. Roll a 12 to represent the market security for each of the commodities. If the barons sell, fuck, how do I want to do? Actually, no, I know how to do this. During the personal phase, the barons may encounter situations to manipulate market. Or exploit a loophole. When a if the Thulean guide wishes the Catboys have more influence on the market forces. If the Thulean guide wishes the Catboys have more of an influence on market forces, they are free to implement the market stability rule. When the Catboys sell an excessive amount, 5+. The Catboys sell an excessive amount, 10+. Actually, we'll do more than equal to or more than the die roll. Equal to or more than the die roll. They will reduce the volatility by one step. They will reduce the volatility by one step. If they produce more resources than the die roll. If they produce more resources than the die roll and do not sell, they will increase the volatility. So this is like, if you want to implement this, you can do things a little bit more naturally with the idea of like, yeah, you can kind of manipulate this by. This would be. The first one would be, I roll a d12. Where's my d12? I roll my d12. I score a 7. If I spend 7, if I burn out 7 oil or whatever, it's suddenly going to be, I've sold 7 oil. I've glutted the market a little bit. Like I've sold a lot of my oil out. Suddenly I don't have anything. And market forces are reduced a little bit. It's just, the thing is stabilized. Price kind of sticks around where it's comfortable. I produce, however, let's say I roll again, I get 5. I produce 5 oil and I hold all of it. At the end of the buying and selling phase, I have 5 oil remaining for my production. The volatility increases. Actually, you produce more resources than the die roll and do not sell. Yeah. And then it would be the do not sell. Yeah, so if you're kind of like, rolling low is when things are like really going to get influenced really badly. So it's like, yeah, when the market starts crashing is when people are like, we're going to sell everything or we're going to hold. Oh, blue server, what are you doing? Blue server, why are you the way that you are? Dear blue server, why must you be cringe? Affecting market forces. I'm not 100% on this yet. I'm kind of iffy on this. So okay, we've got all of this. We've got okay, $T conversion. I gotta remember $T. We go here. Greenback Thulean dollar. Thulean dollar. Thulean dollar. Thulean dollars. $T. $T or $T. $T are the main currency of Thule among the barons. To the international sphere, this is effectively a narco dollar. This is effectively a narco dollar, worthless as a currency due to it being backed by catnip, backed primarily by catnip. Without a recognized country, the T dollar is in constant flux. However, its value is relatively consistent on Thule itself. Without a recognized country, the T dollar is in constant flux. The main backing catnip may be a stable source of income. The lack of trade power, a complicated beast to manage. T dollars it's always measured against a TC. It is always measured against the trade currency TC to represent its value. The starting value of a T dollar is 5 $T equal 1 TC. Is 5 $T equaling 1 TC? Is 1/5 of TC. $5 $T equal 1 TC. Can and will change dramatically. This can and will change dramatically. Let's see. The T dollar is considered to be in constant flux is being constant flux. It's actually considered to be a high volatility currency. The T-dollar is considered to be a high volatility currency, as reflected above. However, instead of restricting strict value, the currency amount, the amount of T-dollars to TC will increase or decrease. So we need to so no, this would be +4, +3, +3, +2, +2, +1, -1. Actually, no, this would +1, -1, -2, 2, 3, -4, -4. Let's just do side note, and explanation. Actually, in it, we'll do an example. $100 T-dollar. Let's see. The amount of T-dollars to TC will increase or decrease. The change in value of a T-dollar will occur at the start of the building. Actually, will occur at the end phase or building phase. Will occur at the end phase. Will occur at the end phase. Let's say I have 100 T-dollars. Let's say I have 100 T-dollars, and the current conversion rate is 5 T-dollars to 1 TC. With 100 T-dollars, I have 20 TC. I have 20 TC. With 100 T-dollars, I have 20 TC. Then we roll. So let's take a roll, for example. We'll say 11. Good news. The first fluctuation occurs, and it was in 11, meaning that T-dollars have a -3, have a quote -3 tied to it. Have a -3 to its value. The T-dollar is now 2 T-dollars to 1 TC, meaning I now have 50 TC with my 100 T-dollars. So again, it's that -3, and it's better news. let's say disastrous news. Disastrous news. Disastrous news. Another situation has occurred, and the value has dropped. And the value has dropped. The T dollar gains +4 after rolling a 1. Then gains +4. Now it's back to $6 to 1 TC. And I have, let's do, it would be, because if we do the idea of if 5 divided by 100 is it would be 100 divided by 5 is 20, and then 2 divided by 100 is 50. It would be 6 divided by 100. It would no, it would be 100 divided by 6 would be 16.66. I have 16.66. 66 rounding up, rounding down. I have 16 TC rounding down. I should actually add that as a note up top. So like you could get to a point where it's like you might have you might get a situation where it's like, yeah, it's like 16 T dollars to 1 TC. So if I need to buy something worth 500 TC, for example, it's going to be 16 times 500. It's going to cost me 8,000 T dollars. That's really fucking bad. As a less good news, fluctuation occurs. Disastrous news, another situation has occurred and the values dropped. As a possible situation. Actually slight shifts in the T dollar can have drastic consequences on the slight shift in the T dollar can have drastic consequences and need necessary materials in the let's see. Consequences when needing to purchase necessary materials in the market. However, if someone has TC, they can freely exchange it for in excess of T dollars. Because again, it's a two-way street now. Because let's say, for example, I have 100 TC, and one TC equals 20 T dollars. Suddenly, I can exchange that for for a lot of fucking T dollars. I can get a lot of money out of that all of a sudden that I normally may not be able to. I've got a lot of money, especially if that over the course of, let's say, a couple sessions goes down to maybe something like this. I can just make money. You can do currency trading in this game effectively. Very basic currency trading, but you can do currency trading. Freely exchange it for excess of T dollar, or vice versa. We'll do what happens at 0. We're gonna do another side note. What happens at 0? If a situation occurs when the T dollar equals 0, when T dollar to TC equals 0, then they're completely equal for it. And they are complete. Actually, If a situation occurs when the T dollar falls to zero, it instead goes to negative. Instead goes to +1. Instead goes to it instead goes to 1T. Instead, how do I want to do this? Because what could happen is, again, we do $5 to 1 TC. That's the starting. If we ever hit a situation where we're at 0 T dollar equal 1 TC, do we go under the idea that we do 2 to 1 suddenly? 1 T dollar is now more value, is worth 2 TC, or do we just keep it like this? What happens if we hit 0? Action. It instead rolls over. Instead rolls over to the TC. Instead rolls over to a TC. A zero never occur. A zero value. Zero value is not possible. So in this situation. In this situation, T dollar, in this situation, the T dollar equals 0 would instead look be as if the T dollar as 1 T dollar was equal to TC. Zero is an impossibility. Because pretty much like that would be perfect. That would be pretty much perfect equilibrium. That would be the issue. I don't think we can achieve perfect equilibrium because, well, that's like we'll do like USD to fuck is the INR, the Indian rupee. If there was ever a time like the Indian rupee cannot be worth 0 because it would just be 0 across the board. But if we ever get to a point where like the USD is worth 1 Indian rupee, it's not going to go to like 0. No, it would just immediately start increasing the value of the rupee. Hence why you can get things like the euro, for example. Like one USD is worth 0.95 euro. If like the USD falls in value, for example, it doesn't like decrease the value of the. It gets a little bit funky there, but that's just the nature of how we have to do this. So we just roll over it. Yeah, so it's kind of like two situations where things would just roll over. Yeah, so 0 doesn't technically. What happens at 0? Situation when T dollar falls to 0, falls over to the TC. Actually, treat this scale as if it's shifting on. Treat this as if it scale on both sides from scale on both sides. Well, scale on both sides with zero being 1 T dollar to 1 TC. That's kind of the idea. It's just like, is it shifting more in the favor of the T dollar, or is it more shifting more in favor of the TC? Yeah. Which, mind you, this is this is a very bad situation for the good old government. So yeah, that's kind of the idea of like the kind of the pluses and negatives here. This isn't like the best way of looking at things, but it's kind of the only way I can make this work reliably, because we're getting into currency exchange autism. Version occur, disastrous, light shifts in $2, kind of drastic consequences. In currency exchanges. See, I would like to put it like right here. That would be the ideal, but I can't put it right here because I can't have nice things. I mean, can I? No, we're going to put a Catboy there. We'll do the T-market fluctuation. Let me just put this side note right here. We put a big old Catboy here. We can probably put like a... We can probably put a picture of like a bank or something right here to really kind of highlight what that is. So, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Maybe not the best way of doing things, but... Heading. Yeah, that's not even the correct heading. This would be the personal phase. This is what we're going to have to do next time. Oh, hello. Is the game nearly done? No. Is this game nearly done? No. It's... The thing is, it's been a little bit hectic because it kind of got started right during Thanksgiving. So things have been a little bit shaky on that front. Like, what needs to be done, like, right this second is if I go here, no, if I go up here, if I go here, we pretty much just got done with the building phase. We have to do we are doing to do the personal phase on Monday. We could probably do the personal phase in the first half of the crisis phase next Monday. My goal is to get the phases done Monday. That's my goal. We're going to do probably a Notepad Must Die tier on that. After we get the phases done, we can do advancement. And we can... And if things go according to plan, things go very according to plan, we can probably try to get everything done by maybe Friday. Not Friday. Maybe Wednesday. My goal is next Wednesday. Am I super confident about getting everything done by Wednesday? 50-50. I'm gonna try. It really depends on how well the crisis things turn out. If I can get the combat to work pretty solid, I'm gonna be very happy with it. I don't know though if it's gonna want to play nicely because there's a lot of moving parts with the combat. Combat can be affected by other things, and it's either going to get done next Wednesday or Friday, though. That's going to be my goal. And if I kind of got to blitz it, that'll be fine. I'm okay with doing a little bit of blitzing. This has just been a very arduous project because I didn't really have a lot to work with, but I'm pretty confident on most everything. Again, it's just tying everything together. I will probably give like a very basic rundown of the lore and being like, here's the lore of the Catboy Thule, and I'll just never touch it again. Like, you paid, like, brother, you paid me to write this fucking game, and you got currency. Like, you got currency trading in this game, technically. Like, you got the commodity market. I'm not too happy with the fucking currency trading. Like, I can see the currency in my head. It does not want to work properly. I can see it play out. It's just doing it. This thing ain't getting the best detox. Like, here's the thing. It really depends on how well the crisis goes. Like, I'm like 97% sure The crisis is going to be pretty easy. The actual meat of the game is going to be pretty simple. The kind of everything leading up to it's going to be a little bit shaky there. That's where things start getting a little bit wiggity wonky. But I'm feeling decent about it. 50 times, just going to be 15 minutes of you screaming at God. Not really. Like, here's the thing. This has been entertaining because it's how do you effectively put a lot of things together that I wouldn't normally think of. And this is why I like taking commission projects. Not only because I get paid, but because I would say, challenged a little bit. I'm challenged to do things that are strange, a little weird, and kind of like you gotta do the unright thing now. Iron didn't really actually give me too much to work with, so that's both a very big blessing and a curse sometimes. Kind of depends on the game. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident that next Wednesday, if the crisis goes smoothly, next Friday if it doesn't. Thing that I'm most concerned about currently is advancement's going to be a bitch. I think advancement's going to be an issue, just because there's going to be it's the big thing with this project, and I've been kind of saying this like throughout it. It's taking every part feeds into other parts of itself. So it's like this part feeds into this part. So it's like the building phase feeds into the force creation phase, and the force creation kind of feeds into what characters you're going to be making. Characters kind of indicate the forces and what the buildings are going to be looking like, and then where the money is coming from. The money is going to prove yourself. It's this entire thing of just nightmares working together. And once everything clicks together, I think it will work. I just need to get that click in. Click with Adam Sandler. But yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good with it. Generally speaking, again, just kind of boiling down to that. The current state of affairs, for the people interested, tomorrow at noon EST, we're going to be doing the Curious Case of Mecha RPG. So hopefully everybody's hyped for mechs, because I'm fucking not. Yeah, a lot of the mech games we went over I've been going over the week. I've been a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed in, just saddened by. So hopefully that I got one I got to do tonight. I'm hopefully that it's at least does something a little bit different. Utopia Wars is going to be a bitch. Like I have the idea. The idea is there. It's just getting that thing to just like it's. I can see everything working. It's just one aspect of the game that's very difficult to do. And I don't quite know how to do it yet. And until I find something that really says this is it, it's going to be kind of hard to. Like, this is what I need to find. And one of the ideas of Utopia Wars is hyper future, 3D printers, all this bullshit. Pretty much it's the perfect future, effectively. Everyone is happy, but everyone immediately starts fighting one another over what is utopia, what is our desired utopia. That's the concept of it. That's where the Utopia Wars come in. That any of these post-scarcity super societies would break down into ideological death war immediately. And one of the core concepts is, as a pilot, you are a belligerent psychopath, effectively. You are a holy shit, horrifying monster. People are terrified of you because you are a belligerent psychopath. And one thing what I want to do is, if your shitty mech that you 3D printed, that like you 3D printed this, beautiful mech, and it breaks down, I want you to be able to kick open the door, dead sprint to somebody else's mech, rush in there with your PAT, your PAT tool, your fucking pilot, what do they end up calling it? It was like your pilot application tool, your fucking pad, and rip open their cockpit, beat them to death inside of their cockpit, throw out the body, then take over their mech and get back to the fight. It's kind of that idea, like anything you get your hands on, you're dangerous in. And it would be the modularity and the quickness of designing mechs. It's not necessarily getting there. It's not exactly the pilots. It's needing to either A, design mechs very quickly, or B, being able to pretty much what I would be like, what you effectively need to do is your mech fucking is down and out. You hop to you go to this next mech, you grab like a downed mech, and then I would have to literally hand you a card. Like, this is it. As a video game, this is very simple, because you would just say you hop in the new mech, you're in the new mech. That's it. D-O-N-E. On the table, it's a lot more complicated. Could argue, well, you're just going to make it online, and that has its own things to it, but that kind of leads to other problems. And if I can make that work, if I can find at least a way to do the modularity perfectly, I think I can make it work. I think Void Haunters was, I think Void Haunters was the right step. I'm getting there. It's just okay. Yeah, it's I think what the Void Hunter ships, it was the correct step. But it's how do I get everything I want on, but still make it modular? That's there's two sides to this. This is the thing, is there's two sides to this thing I want. I have the cake. I know how to make the cake, but I want the cake and I want to eat it. And because that's one of my big things when it comes to Lancer and stuff is, you have a 3D printer. If you say I want I want to be have this setting be yeah, people are just pumping out these tiny little shitty mechs because 3D printers are super easy. You fucking take this world and you just strip it for resources, throw everything into 3D printer, and you have an army of mechs. But they're shitty mechs. They're these very quick to make ones. So it's it's kind of as a video game, it works perfectly, because you can just say, oh, here, you randomize a bunch of mech parts, you throw them together, you hop into one, this is what you're doing, what you have to work with, you just hop into the next one, it's fine. Tabletop-wise, very different. So it's, Void Hunters was in the right direction. I need to think on it more. I need to mull it over quite a bit more. Mind you, Utopia Wars, if I'm going to be a betting man, and this is going to be a betting man, we probably won't see the next round of voting till maybe early January is what I'm aiming for the next round of voting to be. Yeah, that's where the issue comes from. Is just I either want a lot of math, but it would be exactly what I want, or what do I compromise? That's the big thing. What do I compromise? And there's a lot of options. There's a lot of ideas and a lot of options. But currently speaking, I don't really have to worry about that too much, because we have we pretty much have 2 games already kind of lined up to do. We've got which, mind you, this is kind of a complicated beast already. We have the Crisis Heroine game, which I have no fucking idea how I want to do. We also got zombies and ziggurats, which I also I kind of know. Which is going to be it's going to be a Note SR. Because I hate God and I wish everybody to be If I must suffer, you must all suffer alongside me. I have to double check the one roll engine. I have to double check monsters and other childish things. That might not be the worst idea. Again, it's a lot of like me sitting down and like I'm going, That's literally all it's going to be. Like it's, and mind you, I'm gonna get the perfect thought when I'm like taking a walk or something, or I'm gonna be taking a shit. So I'm gonna be taking a shit at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh my god, I have the revelation. Holy shit, that's what it's gonna be like. That's what's gonna happen. God, Velvet Book. This is the worst part. I know I'm gonna have to do a Persona case one day because there's a few Persona games and Velvet Book's gonna be on there. But Persona games, there's a few Persona games that I've been like, I'm gonna do this one, but it's like fuck me. So many cases, so little time. No, there's other Persona games of various quality. So it's like I want to do a Persona case. So you want to do a Persona franchise case for it. So it's like just finding all the Persona games and then putting them all together and then having somebody vote for it, which is usually the problem child. Which luckily, luckily the mech month is going pretty smooth. I am horrified at the prospect of Ad Ava though. That is going to be, the saga of Ad Ava is going to be such a long and drawn out. Like that's going to be like a 5-hour VOD, because I'm going to have to go over everything of Ad Ava, and I'm not even confident. Like, yeah, no, we'll see the next one after the Ad Ava case probably. Children RPG case is real. That one, I have the games for that one. It's ready to go. It's just, and I understand why people like don't vote for it because they want like the bigger game that's usually like a franchise cases on. Or like Mech Month was because of Misato, because I wanted it, because it was a double feature, and I wanted to justify celebrating Misato Katsuragi's birthday. Because Misato Mondays, everybody. Double feature. Ooh. Yeah, pretty much. Double features, because like it's a good story to tell of these two games and like how you can kind of do different things with mechs in general. Yeah, like no, children RPGs are fascinating because you can kind of, the children's RPG case would be more of a, probably, I wouldn't say it would be like multiple of them, but it'd be a lot of little games. Like you gotta remember that there's a lot of little children's, but it would be more of a philosophical, more like how do you design an RPG for children? Because kids are stupid. But Hero Kids makes $1 gazillion, so no, it's Hero Kids, baby. Hello, O-Pigs. No, it was Hero Kids on DTRPG. That shit makes bank. Like a weird amount of money. Because I'm completely off the grid at this point. It's over, everybody. I'm so sorry. You thought there was gonna be a plot, like this, Hero Kids. If you want to know what makes a lot of money, it's this shit. All of this is an adamantine seller. Like adamantine. That's a lot of money. Like that's a lot of sales. Like a weird amount. And it's not like, oh, it's just one or two little, you know, it's just kind of a one-off thing. No, like multiple Hero Kids things are, yeah, like multiple Hero Kids products are adamantine. Multiple. Which is just bizarre to me. Because it's like cards and shit. And like, now mind you, like you gotta remember, like adamantine is like how many, like I believe it's, I think it's 10,000 units sold. Is that it? Like metal, let me double check the metal tier. It's like, I shouldn't memorize these, but yeah, adamantine is 5,000 plus sold. 5,000, mind you. 5K. Hero Kids here is $6. $6. Over 5,000 people have bought this. That is like, that's $30,000. And then mind you, that's just to get to adamantine tier. Just to get, who knows how many people have bought this game. Like, this isn't even the game. This is just cards. Like, these are just fucking cards. And, like, almost all of them are adamantine in one way or another. Like, this is a good chunk of money. Like, this is fucking $10 here. And this isn't even counting people buying the book. Holy crap, if someone buys the book. Oh. It's money. Yeah. Like, you gotta remember, like, with the adamantine tier, like, this is adamantine. This is 158 products have sold more than 5,000 copies on DTRPG. 158. And let's count. Let's say fuck it. Let's do it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, 23 out of 158. Like, 14, like, effectively 15% of all books that have gone over 5,000 sales are Hero Kids. That's bizarre. That's horrifically, like, what? Exactly, like, this could be easy 10,000 copies sold. Even if it's not, like, these individual books have sold more than anything in this fucking industry almost. That's bizarre. And, like, yeah, like, it's, yeah, that's kind of the interesting part with it. Like, kid RPGs usually sell pretty well because people are always looking for stuff. And it's like, clearly it did something right because it sold so much. But, yeah, no, like, the kid RPG case would be more of a philosophical, I believe. The, let's see, we've got, I will say, again, this week is mech game. Next week is actually going to be another press copy series. Like, I'm literally just going to have to make it's going to be a new case format, simply of just press copies. Not even a micro case, just press copies. Because I've got 4 or 5 games that are just pure, people have sent me a copy of the game being like, please review this. I'm like, all right, bet, I'll do it. I'm like, I'm down, fuck it. Yeah, no, it's probably, I don't quite know how I want to do my plan at the end of the month. Saturday, Christmas actually falls on a Saturday, actually, so lucky me, Christmas Eve. So most likely what's going to happen is the 31st will be the end of year mega stream. Just remember that. Get ready for the the rise and grind. For those who don't remember, last year I spent about 16 combined hours working on shit just on stream. So yeah, we're gonna have another end of year stream, so get ready for that, everybody. It's gonna be fun. Get ready, boys. Probably be on the 30th though. Fucking hammer everything out we can. Yeah, so we've got the next 3 Saturdays kind of planned out. Next week we're going to be doing, we're kind of wrapping up Catboy Thule. That's going to be the plan there. If things go smoothly, we're going to actually probably spend the 9th figuring out what the fuck to do with Crisis Hair. I have no idea. Going to be frank with all of you. Got no fucking idea what to do with Crisis Hair. I signed up initially like, I'm going to make Crisis Heroin better. I'm going to improve it. But then I kind of realized the game is built on fucking balsa wood. Like, I didn't really understand when I first went over. I'm like, okay, I can fix this. This is going to be pretty simple to fix. But then I started kind of, when I transcribed everything into the PDF, I really realized, like, holy shit. Oh, fuck. This shit's built on dreams, effectively. And, oh, God. Oh. You don't really... You can read through it, but then you once you start kind of getting into it more, you're like, oh, God. I've got a few ideas for the Crisis thing. One of them is doing strict Tiedemann. I can put together a Tiedemann art relatively easily. The problem is, like, it wouldn't really be doing much outside just calling it a Tiedemann RPG and just changing some names. Like, there's very little I can touch that. So, like, another half of me is like, oh, I'll change it to another thing. I'll change it to another genre or something. Can't do that. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, there is a distinct part of me that just wants to bring the special side project to light and just do that. But I don't know if that's gonna be a good idea. Because that's a very weird niche thing. Yeah. Kid games are low stakes with quick gameplay, plus quick. Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, it's nowadays it's for adults. Like, yeah, no shit. This is actually a very big conversation we were having that the Blue server popped up with, and it was kind of an interesting conundrum. It was. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, someone actually joined. Hello, JJ Berry. I don't know who you are, but hello. Let's go to... Nope, that's the wrong one. We want to go to the Sad Blue server, where every time I go in, I die a little bit on the inside because it's just cringe. This was a semi-rhetorical question by Threevokin. He has a game called Aeon Hourglass. Never seen anything about it, doubt it exists. Is it possible everyone here amongst the indie game community is simply too smart? Yeah, we just confirm that this is a real human being here. Is simply too smart. Because I find this very funny, but it's an interesting query. Some of the answers we got. And I just feel like making fun of him live on air. Because I can, because who the fuck cares? I live in a society and I'm... is it possible everyone here and amongst the indie game community is simply too smart? Kind of like a bunch of physicists trying to get the general public to understand the math behind quantum physics and wondering why, after releasing book after book, only a handful actually buys and discusses the concepts. Outside of calling him a complete fuck, like, holy shit, this man is a goblinoid, but belonging into just sadness. But it was, some of the answers were actually kind of fascinating, because it was along the idea that tabletop games are, by their nature, an inferior product to literally everything else. Like, and that was kind of a funny note, and like my response pretty much boiled down to like, I can play a video game whenever I want. I could open up Fallout New Vegas right now and play Fallout New Vegas to get the full RPG experience. I have voice acting, there's an engine, there are graphics, I can do whatever I want with it. Fuck, with all the mods, Jesus, you can do a lot of things with Fallout that you can't do in other things. And do I really need to calculate all the tens and fives percentages? No, I right click on the baddie and I hit my left mouse button to kill them. There you go, boom, and then I'm a Superman, I'm a hero. Tabletop games don't have that. We have a singular advantage, and that advantage will always be the fact of it's a social gathering. It is inherently a social gathering. It's me, my boys, we're sitting around, we're having a ball. It's great. I have a beer in one hand, we're having chips involved. It's a good time. It's a social event. That is our advantage. And what you need to do with RPGs is you need to facilitate that social event. We can have all the high-minded philosophy we fucking want, but it doesn't matter. As long as we can facilitate that discussion, it's fine. I think that's why D&D has maintained such a stranglehold over everything, because it's simple. It's really easy to understand. It's you go into a cave, you kill a bunch of goblins, you come out with money. But slowly and steadily, if you want, honest to God, if you want a very good D&D experience, I mean, damn good, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, you will get a fantastic D&D experience. You will get the highs and lows of the story, you will have all the adventures you want, it'll be a great time. But you'll lose that social aspect. You will not be able to play with your friends playing Baldur's Gate, but slowly over time, I don't think people quite realize this, but when D&D and stuff were super popular back in the 70s and the 70s, 80s, and 90s, tabletop video games were Doom. That was not everybody really knew video games, and even things like movies and stuff were not as accessible. Yeah, no, it's you can always play any setting you want limited by video. I take RimWorld, explore RimWorld more than the game proper because it's a colony. Yeah, you get games RimWorld was not physically possible 20 years ago. In 2002, nobody could play RimWorld. RimWorld was an impossibility on any piece of hardware. Now a fucking toaster could run it. It's and that's kind of the bizarre thing, because I started up Oblivion again. I wanted to play Oblivion. It was on sale for $5. Fuck it, and it's bizarre to me. It's holy shit. Playing Oblivion, you're walking around, shit's happening, people are interacting. It seems cheesy now for a game came out in 2006 of walking up to somebody. Oh, hello there. It looks like you don't visit the Cloud District very often. Oh, mud crabs, terrible creatures. It seems silly now, but you think about it, 2006, this was a big fucking deal. This was huge. But now, think about if you wanted to play a role-playing, a TTRPG. Fuck, man, I could play I play my games with my friends over in the UK mostly. We play on Discord. There are multiple VTTs to facilitate it. And our hobby needs to understand its strength, but I think the problem is some people misinterpret the strengths as people want these story games. People want story games and things like that. They want to remove all the mechanics and be oh well, our social aspect is the most important aspect of the game, so we just want to facilitate the storytelling. But that's not the point. The beautiful thing. I love RimWorld. I think RimWorld's an amazing game. RimWorld's a pretty simple game, though. All things considered, it's a very simple game. But you want to know what RimWorld does amazing? RimWorld tells stories. RimWorld tells of the time Randy Random sent a bunch of fucking wolves to eat my colonists. RimWorld tells very good stories of last-minute defenses, of holy shit, perfect revolver shots. RimWorld tells emergent stories based on the events occurring. It uses a system to tell a story. Tabletop games, I think, need to lean more into that. We need to create things that enable us to tell stories. Caves of Cut, even like we need things to tell stories rather than have a how do I want to word it? It's hard to. People remember Nat 20s more than they remember the epic narrative they crafted using a fucking people remember, we still meme about times a character rolled a gorillion dice or something. We all meme about time fucking Valiant Saber, a fucking exalted character, murked. Not even random generation tables, more along the lines of people remember interacting with the mechanics, people don't necessarily remember storylines. You remember the time one of your guys got a lucky hit on a guy in RimWorld with a shitty revolver and blew his fucking head off. You remember that because it was using all the systems, using all the mechanics. It was a holy shit emergent story. Oh my god. You don't necessarily remember the quest dialogue of why they were invaded. You don't necessarily remember that bit. You remember what occurred to them. And I think this is just me meandering a little after dark and very hungry. But I can try to put this down into words a little bit more concisely in a video, probably. But I have a bad feeling about our future, boys. I have a very bad feeling that things are going to get a lot rougher before they get a lot better. Let's just say. Because video games are catching up. Even down to things like chivalry, for example. I can know stories of chivalry. There's no plot to chivalry. But I can tell you today, I was fighting a guy 1v1, and it quickly evolved into a 4v1 with me on the one side, and I fucking killed them all because I was a fucking badass. I just jumped in the middle of them. I was jumping around. I was swinging around, swinging my sword around, and I got a few lucky hits off, and they were just confused and hitting each other. It was that holy shit, I'm a fucking badass. I'm a god among men. That story, it was a story I told with other people. We had a moment, we had a social moment. People were cheering. I got commended. People were clearly, we're hell yeah, we can do this. We're gonna win. It's that momentum we have. The story, I think, is the most important. I do wonder if in the future, if the through of TTRPGs using technology stop being a thing, we just all play tools that effectively make. Well, I mean, we already have things like Roll, for example. A lot of these VTTs kind of mimicking kind of that feeling. I don't think we'll ever be fully replaced by Vidya, but I also think Vidya is going to find ways to get around it. I have a friend who's big into VR chat. There's entire worlds and stuff dedicated that people have set up that are shitty dungeon shit you can do in VR chat. I'm that's how long is it going to take until somebody figures out how to do something to mimic things a lot better? Yeah, and I think they're everyone can now play Phoenix Command. Yeah, that lets you the fucking Minecraft mod. stuff like that. It's bizarre. Like, video games clearly want to emulate it. And I'm like, at what point? See, this is what I'm curious about. This is going to be my fascinating. When's going to be the point when somebody releases a tabletop RPG with a fucking QR code to download the game? Done that the Venn diagram can be done about. Yeah. See, the problem is, like, the Venn diagram is quickly, it shifts in and out a lot. It shifts in and out of itself, and I don't think there's really pseudo video. Yeah, well, we're not. I think there's going to be a problem. It's no longer going to be pseudo video. I think it's just going to be a video with like a tabletop, element to it. Because I mean, hell, when was the last time any of you bought a physical TTRPG book? When was the last time any of you bought one? I bought mine. I bought 2 in the UK, and like I thought about it, like, if I wasn't here in this particular situation, would I buy these 2? And I don't think so. But it's like, it would be a lot easier just to buy it as a PDF, right? It'd be a lot easier. Fuck, man. I like buying PDFs. PDFs are super simple. And it's like, but then you get things like Kiznite, for example. Then, Kiznite's just completely online. It's just a... Like you get things like, which is just a website, or you get things like Chrome, for example, that one weird role thing, that weird cyberpunk game. Simply, the average person will think it is an incomplete video game instead of a game to assemble. Yeah, you see, that's the problem. It's an incomplete video game. And then suddenly people will say, why don't I just make a video game instead? And generally speaking, I think if a lot of, for a lot of these games, if RPG Maker was free and a lot easier to use, I think a lot of people would be making RPG Maker games instead of tabletop games. I think that's why we're seeing more and more, like, we want to emulate tabletop games, something like that. People like the experience of interacting with other people, but interacting with other people is hard. So what if we just mimic it? It's hard. I don't think things are going to get better. Yeah, exactly. Like, people keep asking this every now and again. Like, when's the time when Thule and Catboys belong to tabletop, not RPG Maker? Well, yeah, but honestly, like, I hate to break it to you, Ironside, but I could, like, if I had coding things, Thule and Catboys would probably play a lot better as this video. Like, fucking VN, you put some VN elements as the personal phases, you build things up, you have a visual novel moment, try to seduce Catboy, various Catboys in between, Advance Wars style combat systems. Like, oh fuck, well shit. Like, weird, isn't it? Well, you're a mechanics nerd. Yeah. It is. I am curious, again, when's the, how do I want to word this? When's the cut going to occur? When are people who have been invested in this say, like, I don't want to, like, not cool anymore, and leave? Like, I think we're getting to that point, because I think a lot of people are quickly beginning to realize there's no money here, and it's hard to make money. And a lot of people have moved. Think of the last, like, 3-4 years. How many paid GMs have you encountered? Like, holy shit. The amount of paid GMs are bonkers to me. Like, some of the rates these guys charge are so high. Like, it's weird. And it's even like the presence of, like, oh, here's a bunch of safety tools. Like, here's the thing. I think people sometimes get this wrong. Like, I don't hate safety tools. I hate the fact that safety tools have replaced basic communication with people. It's like, Let's just avoid talking like normal human beings. Like, what? What's going on? Like, what's going to be the next thing? I don't think tabletop games are really going to... It really depends on 2024. To me, anyway. I think that's going to be the, That's going to be the time we see when things go either very wrong or very right. If we're lucky, we end up on the right side of things. And D&D is struck down. And we make it. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's the problem. I don't think we're going to make it. I think we're going to... How do I want to do this? How do I want to work this? I think one D&D is going to make it. I think people are going to hop on one D&D. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, because Wizards has a army of people to do things for it. It's going to be designed to make it so it sells, and people are going to buy it because they want to be on the next big thing. And they're going to be on the next big thing, and everyone's going to be so happy about it. It's going to be the next big thing. And we're not going to see the convergence. We're not going to see it's time for the evil dies tonight. No, it's not going to happen. Or if we continue on the current trend, my fear is that it's going to be the haves and have-nots, and we're going to be in the have-not category unless we start fucking murdering people. My opinion is the larger part. Yeah, of the 5e community doesn't give a shit about additions. Yeah, I think that's a very big... We are a minority. You gotta remember that, everybody. We are a minority. I'm a minority of that minority. I give a shit about mechanics. I care about the numbers. And a lot of people... Well, yeah, that's going to be the problem. It's going to be 5e basic, and they're going to sell you to that. Like, that's the thing they're going to do. They're going to sell it to you as like, oh, it's going to be 5e basic. We're going to see 5e OSR, baby. Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready for 5e OSR. But it's going to be the people who have and have nots. And I'll think of like, you get things like Modifius. Like, Modifius is fascinating because they've invested hard into roll, for example, and they've put a lot of money into roll because I think they want to. I wouldn't say like buy roll or whatever. No, roll is way more valuable. But they want to have their VTT that they are kind of more ingrained with. If roll does well, Modifius does well, so Modifius wants you to play on roll. So it's just a win-win for them. I think everyone's going to start grabbing VTTs that they're going to be a part of, and probably if D&D announces its VTT intentions, like I think they want to make their own VTT. What's going to happen is there's probably going to come out about 2 more VTTs, seemingly out of nowhere, and those VTT people and the smaller companies are going to hop on it. The companies that can afford to get on there are going to hop on. The ones that can't, the ones that don't, are going to be in the crab bucket, like with the rest of us. And it's going to be, the knives are going to be out. We're going to have to claw and bite to get out of it. I think things are going to get a lot harder before they get a lot easier. But we may roll well. Here's the thing, we may roll very well. And one D&D burns and just crashes on its face. And we enter kind of the free fall era. If we get to another free fall, it's anything goes. You have a plan to escape the supermax that is the crab bucket. My friend, I am writing a game called Catboy Thule, for fuck's sake. For 90 United States dollars. I'm eating crabs at this point. That's all I've been eating. Getting out. Fuck. I wish. So I have been debating on I wouldn't say reorganizing, but kind of refocusing some efforts into effectively, you know, going after a couple, like, I wouldn't say like smaller companies, but like little indie companies that clearly have nothing, and like effectively saying, give me, like, let me make a tabletop role-playing game for you for pennies on the dollar, effectively, for free marketing. And pretty much Ancap, Cattrap's Magical Capitalist Adventures in Lost Island of Thule is its name. Yes, thank you very much. Pretty much almost repositioning the Sprug Workshop as a fucking marketing firm, being like, yeah, I'll do a free marketing product for you. It'll be a free role-playing game that gets people invested in your setting. I've been thinking about doing it for I need to contact that. I've been always hesitant. I don't know how to get a hold of them, to be honest, of the Paladins guys. Just be like, hey, I'm a Paladins player. I really enjoy Paladins. I've also comprised this giant lore document. Will you let me make your table? And that would be hilarious if I could get the okay to do that. The Ripaverse. That's the one guy who doesn't shut the fuck up on Twitter sometimes, and is this the guy I'm thinking of? Yeah, it's these guys. It's these guys. The Ripaverse. Yeah, these are the guys that got kind of murked on the Twitter every now and again. Like, there's one guy. Is this the guy who's like the Ripper? Ripper. I can't remember his name. Like, he said some bizarre shit sometime, and I'm like, eh. Why are you posting? Why? Why are we here? Just suffer? Get into Obsidian ass. Like, the one's gonna bigger audience. Make the PPRPG, you know you want to. Like, again, I have a few ideas. Like, if I like infinite time, infinite effort. The Battle Brothers, I think this could be a fun game. I have the game for it, effectively. And it would be pretty easy to make. Like, all things considering. It would be... We got Paladins. My favorite game that I have fucking... It's Stockholm Syndrome. It really is just Stockholm Syndrome at this point. Like, all the Paladins bullshit, because I don't think people quite realize Paladins lore is fucking moronic, and I love it. Like, I'm obsessed. I need to update the document here soon, actually. Technically, Paladins beat Overwatch, which will never cease to amuse me. But hi Jerry Lawson, how are you doing? Shine on, Jerry. What do you think would happen if I did nuke the OGL going with D&D? Want to make everything published through DM's Guild? That would be, and I don't think you quite understand that. That would be the most moronic, stupid fucking thing Wizards could ever do. Simply because, like, what would happen there is pretty simple. Oof. Is that somebody would come along and be like, hey everybody, here's catacombs and critters, and you quickly realize it's just 5e with a different coat of paint, just different enough that nobody can copyright anything. And it's, hey everybody, look, it's catacombs and critters, here's my license that you can have. And everyone's would just use the Catacombs and Critters license, which would be the exact same thing. Like, because like one of the things, like, someone like the Everyday Heroes people, you say, yeah, like, we're gonna go over Everyday Heroes tomorrow, actually, a little bit. For those who are curious, Everyday Heroes is this kind of, a 5e version of D20 Modern. This entire thing has been kind of weird. Like, to be perfectly honest, like, it's been kind of a weird thing with this one. Because you've got, like, a season pass here, for example. It's a D20 Modern, like, God, they even have the same look. What the like, signed for all the original designers, you know, new classes, new professions, new background, genius points. You know, it's like, oh, we're going to take D20 Modern, which is already in kind of like a weird place. We found out the other day, actually, and then it's like, oh, we got all the cinematic adventures that they don't own any of these, I don't think. Like, do they own any? They don't own any of these. They clearly don't. That would be insane if they did. Do they? No, they don't. Sit on top every day. Hard copies can be ordered through the pledge manner. Digital books and have 2 parts. New game mechanics to fit the theme property of the property. Full adventure set in that world. Escape from New York. Like, because the weird thing is they don't say it. Like, that would be my thing. Like, with here anyway, they don't actually say they have these as. Do they have these as licensed? That'd be weird if they had these as, like, because it's not like this is unique art. These are just like fucking, and it's completely fucking random because it's like Pacific Rim, Kong, Highlander, The Crow, Total Recall. Like, you know what? I'm gonna do something. Total Recall, TTRPG. Sweet baby fucking Christ, they do have it. Well, it's a cinematic adventure. Like, they own the rights to this shit? Yeah, apparently they own the rights to it. That's bizarre. Like, how much money did this cost? Like, this is Rambo, man. Studio Canal, yeah, they bought the rights. I mean, Rambo, let's do Rambo rights. Rambo's a franchise. Like, this isn't cheap. Like, video, like, you got all the video games. You got the wait, there's a Bollywood remake of it? Hell yeah. I'm in. Fight Club. They don't mention it. Because we have to make the... Because they're clearly referencing First Blood. But then things get stranger because they're clearly referencing this. Like, they own this. It's weird. Like, that's really weird. Because, like, this obviously isn't cheap. They didn't get, like, these for free. And these are, like... Who the fuck has... Who owns, like... Escape from New York? Who owns the rights to these? Production company. It would be... Embassy Pictures. Who owns Embassy Pictures? Embassy Pictures are still... Home Video... Nelson, New Line Video. So, yeah, New Line owns... The New Line would own it. That's weird. Things deal with Legendary to produce. Ah. So here it is. Inks deal with Legendary. So they did a deal with Legendary. So fucking random. You wanna know what the worst part is? They asked for 15 grand. This is not like... Yeah. But still, it'd be like, that's still weird to me. Like, who... My question would be, where's the in? That would be my question. Where's the in? And why don't you just make a reg... It's too big to be random. Exactly. See, my thing is, it's A, it's too big to be random. And B, they're asking for very little. That's the thing that's kind of funny to me. They're asking for very little, all things considering. Yeah, it's... I don't necessarily think it's that. I think what happened was Everyday Heroes didn't actually have a lot written. I don't actually think there's much going on with Everyday Heroes. I think a lot of people... My two guesses are A, all of that budget, that 15,000, actually went to New Line. Is going to Legendary Pictures and all of that. That's where that money is actually going, not the actual book. And most likely that, or they got a deal, which is like they get a cut of this. They get a percentage, which, mind you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They did 8 franchises, a full book, and only got 400K. That's the part that's funnier to me. They only got 400K. I should get some dinner, but like 1,500 follower production, like January 2023. Like the game isn't even out yet. If you like, yeah. So Escape from New York is coming in next month, apparently. And Titanic scale system reveals Rambo and the Crow miniatures. Oh, playable Jaegers. Interesting. Interesting. See, I think Legendary would want to do that because, fun fact, you can make some money from. Interesting. Interesting. We live in interesting times, everybody. Gonna reveal why I can tell you exactly what the mech rules are going to be. It's going to be you're going to roll a d20, and again, my guess would be using my psychic powers because I am a psychic. It's going to be either A, the mech has its own character sheet, or it's not. How do I want to do? It's not going to actually be a mech. It's going to be like a weapon you use, and you got to use them together. I have a very strong doubt, that it's going to be anything like that. Notice because in the Pacific, thing that I noticed a lot was in the Pacific Rim one, your class was the class was the twins. So my guess is going to be they're going to say, oh, all the classes are actually 2 people to make it so that your Jaeger is actually your Jaeger is just you, and it's just going to have its own set of stats. That's going to be my guess. It's just going to be a 5e character, and it'll be a genius plan. Genius. So much money. It's going to be great. Way too big. Yeah, it's. My theory is either that they've got some people on the inside that they were working with already, or they've got something. The Kickstarter was not the point. It's one of those Kickstarters. The Kickstarter is not the point. The point was Kickstarter to prove interest, and that New Line is going to put money into this, or they're going to own rights and stuff like that. See, now that would be the funny thing if they pull the rights off too quickly. That would be the hysterical. If they're like, oh, sorry, we don't want you to. This made too much money. We don't want to get. We don't want it to happen anymore. Like, oopsie doopsie. Zoink Scoob. But yeah, no, it's we live in interesting, exciting times, everybody. And shit's only gonna get worse. God, I love democracy. If Harry Hobbitoes is in here, I don't act. If I like, let's just look at Evil Genius here. Evil Genius Games. Let's do about. It began with D20 Modern. Our partners. E-commerce, sound, 3D publishers, BTTs. Looks like they've got a lot of partners. Let's see. Team. Who's our team? D Todd Scout, serial entrepreneur. Yeah, this is the interesting one. Serial entrepreneur. D Todd Scott. What have you? Yeah. This has to be this him. Yeah, this is. No, this isn't him. Is it him? It might be. Laughley. Laughley app. So this is his company. Jesus. Yeah, so founder and CEO of Laughley. Acquired by Laugh Out Loud. So yeah, acquired by Laugh Out Loud. That's interesting. D Todd Scott. D Todd Scott. How would I find you? D Todd Scott. Their market, their domain's dead, by the way. Fun. Let's see. It's got background e-commerce and marketing automation. That's fascinating. Let's see. San Francisco, private, laughradio.com. Laugh Radio is dead, by the way. People. Are you? Interesting. Laugh is 5 board and got so summary. Stand-up comedy. Interesting here. Diversity spotlight. U.S. headquarters only. African American led. I guess is. So yeah, he's black. I think so. It looks okay. Maybe he's interesting. Okay, we know he's black now. So. It is the beautiful thing is that we can actually. This is gonna be over. That's him. I think so. No, that'd be Virginia Tech. No, yeah, there's VT. Though it does fit the thing is it does fit the profile. It does fit it. I'm not saying it's like, oh, he's black. The name's the fucking same. What's the D though? What's the D? This isn't him, but I mean, can I play a Jaeger in the Rambo game? Technically, that's the beautiful thing. Check the cast of Die Hard. No, that's just his favorite movie. His favorite action movie is this. So, yeah, whoever this guy was just the CEO of Laughly. I can't find anything on this guy. They're interesting. He's just the owner. Interesting. Let's. Yeah, I don't know who you are, my friend. Jeff Grubb. Maybe we can find something with Jeff. Like, let's see. Game designer, worked on TSR, Wizards of the Coast, ArenaNet, Annual Planes, Forgotten Realms, Dragonlance, Marvel Superheroes. Like, this guy's a fucking design consultant. That's the. Oh god, no! You're the game designer. You're the design consultants. Como Dental. Yeah, this isn't. Jeff Grubb. Hello, Grubb. How are you doing? Yeah, here's Grubb. Oh, he's from Pittsburgh. Computer game. Yeah, so they've got him working as a design consultant. I don't know what the fuck design consultant actually means. Owen Casey Steffens, same thing. Like, publishing and worked extensively, D20, like, D20 Star Wars, D20 Modern, EverQuest D20. Yeah, this is literally all he fucking does. Siegfried Trent. Okay, who are you, Siegfried? Siegfried Trent. Hello, Siegfried Trent. What have you worked on? Watch him play Twitch games. Yep, this is him. Hello, my friend. Self-editing, The Debate. I love Oolong Time. My first published book back in 1979 elementary school. Hello, Trent. How are you? Hello, Mr. Trent. You have absolutely 0 followers, and you're on Twitch. We got a fellow Twitch gamer on here, everybody. Have no fear. We have a fellow Twitch gamer. He's done some interviews. Hasn't really done much, though. Super excited. How did you get involved? This is really designed. This was planned. Like, this is already coming back down to like June. Got things like June, like back in June. This has been a while. So you're one of the main designers. Hello, Goober. 5th edition content, system hacks, companion system, dramatic chases. They hired a 5e guy to do this. Hello, Goober. Goober Ascendant. Oh, wow. This is the guy. This is the fucking guy that... One of the other fucking guys. Oh, God, it's a Homestuck avatar. Oh, Lord. He's got nothing. I can tell you one thing. They had him make this to promote this. Got nothing. Stan, a producer, cartoonist, novelist, former West End Games, designer, lead editor, Shell Car. Editor of TSR in '92. Graphic designer, a character designer. You want to know what I'm getting the impression of? David Todd Scott. David Todd Scott. Facebook. I don't think this is you, but no, that's not. He writes his name. It's D. Todd Scott. Because this is David Todd Scott. This is he marketing superstar. It would be D. Todd Scott. And he fits the worst part is he fits the bill. I mean, I wonder. David, who are you? Best marketers. The book. His last one was in 2016. His latest shows was in 2016. So, yeah, I don't think he's yeah. Lego Legacy. On Lego fucking Legacy. 3 years ago on Lego Legacy. Startup. I am a serial startup producer. Entrepreneur. He keeps saying that. Serial startup entrepreneurial. he founded this. 2008 numbers add up. An e-commerce backend. That's how he got his opening, right here. Interesting though. This is how he got his in right here. He did the back end for all the guys at Lucasfilms. Like, how do I want to word this? This guy is not poor. This guy's got fucking money. Not a lot of, like, probably, he's not like a gorillionaire or anything, but he's clearly not, like, living on the fucking streets. Like, he's got money. My theory, if, my theory holds, he's got enough money to pretty much do a huge investment in this, but I can tell you this. We don't see what's behind the scenes, but I have a strange feeling that, Evil Genius is not, like, how do I want to word this? Like, it says he's the owner. I have a strange and beautiful doubt that he's actually the owner. Like, I think he has a lot of, I think there's a lot of money being poured in here that we don't have. Like, yeah, here's all the license, here's the fucking licensing program. Apparently this is a fucking disaster area. Limited non-exclusive rights to PI. Licensed packaging material, name of your license is compatible with everyday heroes role-playing system. Where's the one that 10 years, which auto-renew for additional 10 years unless EGP written notice termination 6 months, written notice of email address, territory, the universe. Yeah, it's $50 to license the Everyday Heroes product identity license. For a small fee, you're offering third-party license that you can use product identity to represent your adventures. Everyday Heroes compatible. That's why I'm getting a little bit interested. Like, how do I want to word this? I have a, like, here's the thing. This website isn't free. These things are not free. These licenses are not free. This book is not free. This art is not free. Should fucking be. It's, you have a docu-series, The Making of D20 Mon. This is not free. Season pass of adventure, the $130 season pass for a bunch of digital books. Not free. It may be legal fluff. And again, it might be legal fluff, legal fluff. But however, here's the thing. Here's the problem. Is where is the that doesn't matter. What matters is that this is $50. If you want to have the right to use the third-party resource, it's $50. That's the weird part. That's where things start getting a little bit weird. And you get all of this. Again, it's legal kerfuffle, but it's like right here. This is the, again, 10 years. So in 10 years, like, you're going to have to auto-renew this for $50, I guess. If this is even a company, fucking 50 years. Mind you, none of his companies have lasted more than a few years. So I doubt this is going to last 10 fucking years. Like, right here, 50 United States dollar, 50 USD to use this particular license, the product identity license, which is where things get weird. We are inviting to treat rather than inviting to consolidate higher. Yeah, it's... I've read through all this. It's literally legal fluff. What's weird is Kegel writing they have makes imply the season pass underlines all of this while not legally not viable. They're literally saying we are inviting to treat rather than inviting to consolidate higher. I like the fact you gain viewers after you stop making the game. Start underlying schizoid investigation. Yeah, this is what always happens. This is Yeah, this is a Notepad Schizoid Adventures. This is what happens. Again, here's the thing. This is my thinking. It's D Todd. So we know D Todd Scott. So we know this guy's got. He has the money. My theory is that he uses the money to pretty much. I wouldn't say. Mostly, he's got the money and connections. He's got the money and connections to get a bunch of stuff. I don't believe D. Todd Scott has done any of that shit. I think he could care less about it. Because you want to know what he probably... I can tell you exactly what he saw. He saw the exact same thing as Melon did the other day. He saw that the D20 license, D20 modern license is fucked. It doesn't do anything. What are these two guys really doing here? They probably got a lot of money to not do a whole lot, but they can slap their name on things. Good money. Good money for not doing a lot. This guy's done fuck all. Let's know it's for Advanced Feat series. It's a fucking this is a 5e guy. Fucking Goober over here. Has just done 5e stuff. These are the main two people writing the book. Are those two? These guys probably cost nothing. If I were to be a guessing man, they both got a flat fee. Actually, not even a flat fee. Probably we'll be conservative and say 15 cents on the word. That's not a lot, honestly. Between the two of them, about 15 cents on the word. And let's be conservative again, because we're gonna have to. Again, we're doing both of these. These guys probably didn't get paid a shit ton. Doesn't matter. They got free money, effectively. See, it's interesting when you get people like Stan over here. He's a producer. What the fuck does this actually mean? I don't fucking know. But then you got like a character designer. Like, then countless character designs for RPG players. Like, several fanzines for the things. Layout design. Like, this is a professional graphic artist. A lead editor from TSR. Interesting. Like, I think this guy hired pretty much an elite team with these two fucking idiots to do a lot of work to make this as marketable as possible. Because you want to know what they want. I can tell you what they fucking want. They want a part of this pie. And it's not necessarily that. No, they want a part of this fucking pie right here. Because I have a question for all of you thinking. All of you thinkers over here. All of you thinkers over here. How many people do you think invested in this to get the Total Recall RPG? To get the Kong RPG? To get the Highlander RPG? To get the Rambo RPG? Because these are all separate, mind you. That's where things get a little interesting. Or let's say some education system of the West putting students in that whole thing is such a joke. These niche properties getting RPGs books kind of universal system can't lead anywhere. I work in Asia built on BRP. It wasn't such an old unknown properties in Asia. Like in Asia, I can tell you what would happen in Asia is that they wouldn't be made. Like they just wouldn't be fucking made. No name developer who makes games and some other dudes slap their names on it. Being a no, honestly, it's do 5e shit. Honestly, 5e baby. That's all you need to do. Yeah, connections really. Publishing all the license stuff. Yeah, it's my theory is they want to create effectively the D20 modern, because what happens now is that anytime you want to do, they can. How do I want to word this? if this does well, and maybe it has done well, I don't really know. If this does well enough, they may be able to pump out anything Legendary publishes or any like thing. They have a free marketing scheme. Hey everybody, invest in the Highlander RPG. Invest in this is a Legendary Pictures, and so I mean, what other franchises do they? Hey everyone, this is the they definitely don't have that. Like, this is going to be the wild thing, the Ninja Assassin RPG. You know, fucking Ninja Assassin that didn't do too hot, but fucking care. This is the Sucker Punch RPG. I'd be kind of into that, honestly. This is the Wrath of the Titans RPG. This is the Godzilla RPG. This is the fucking Black Hat RPG. I don't fucking know. It's the Black Hat RPG. They published through Nerdist distributed that? What the fuck? But like, it's the Great Wall RPG. It's the Flesh and Sand RPG, I guess. I don't fucking know. Like, it's the Skyscraper one. It's the like what were some other they published Dune. Like, you kind of get what I'm getting, you know, what I'm kind of putting down here. It's like they now can use, like, oh, Toxic Event. This is the Toxic Adventure one. This is the fucking, you know, the Duke Nukem. What? The Duke Nukem RPG. The God Country RPG. The Gundam. What the fuck is this? They're doing a Gundam movie? That's gonna be terrible. Oh yeah, that's gonna be terrible. But yeah, no, like that's. They pretty much made a franchise engine. It's time for gaming in literal abstract hell. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I hope everybody's ready. Like, this is the future we all chose. We live in a society, everybody, and we're fucked. See, interestingly enough, like, apparently, like, the first two adventure books are coming out in January, even though apparently we're not even going to get it till 2023. Digital rulebook, no, November 2022. I mean, Everyday Heroes should be out. Everyday Heroes RPG, DTRPG. It's said it should be out. Quick start review, like, quick start. Evil Genius Games. Everyday Heroes. Everyday, tell me more about Evil Genius Games. Escape from New York preview, the quick start guide. This should be actually out by now. But they don't have anything. This is what they said, like, right, like it should be out, but it's not. This is the interesting bit, like, when did this come out? Like, this came out May. Like, it said it would be November. Like, jump into the let's do a little bit of let's do a little comments. Oh, ads. You hi Siegfried. You done any other check? Jesus. They've got a community manager class. Dealing with magic. Tentatively live public everyday heroes rules in the future. Standard, we haven't announced it yet. We're weighing trade-offs between releasing with the physical books and releasing with some time prior to that. Rolling with everyday hero. Yeah, so it looks like number of patrons. What? Feedback from a number of patrons. I want to check some Evil Genius games. I'm gonna say this. If it happens, I'm gonna feel real fucking sad. Okay, thank God. Yeah, so now it's April 2023 is when it's gonna come out. Even though in January the product releases are gonna be out. Okay, so the game, mind you, the game will be out for the game will be out after 4 of the season passes. All right, cool, awesome. I love. So Giantlands, but successful. No. Modules before the code. 5e Rise of Time. I know what. No, no, the core books don't. Like that's the weird thing. What they kind of like. I don't quite know what they're going on with this. Like let's what are underpaid digital book divided into 2 parts. Game mechanics that are a set of game mechanics that are aligned with the world, citing adventures within the world. Like, I guess, like, that's the idea, is that each of the cinematic adventures are their own independent thing. But then I questioned what the core book is for. Is the core book just a combination of various resources? Is, like... How do I want to word it? Like... I believe the core book would just be, like, the generic rules. Well, each of the cinematic adventures is like the rules plus adventure, but you probably don't get all the classes. Like my guess would be you get like if like new classes. Look, what the fuck's the like? Let's Escape from New York. Let's see. Heroes Gallery. Class, so like yeah, okay, so my guess would be yeah, so yeah, my guess would be, if we're looking at all the classes, like here's Jeff Grubb, hi Grubb. Like, here's the Brute, here's the Heavy, here's the Sharpshooter, like class martial artist. I'm assuming you're probably going to get about half, maybe not even half, like, because you get a lot of fucking classes here. But you're going to get like a small collection of each class in like the little cinematic adventures. But if you buy all the books, you too can play the scientist in Rambo, or you can play the... That seems vaguely... I'm in for this guy, by the way. The Fencer? What the fuck? Fencing? Why is that a class? It's a... What? Okay. 18 classes plus, let's say, a new class. So I'm assuming you're probably going to get about... Because the thing is, I wouldn't even say they're subclasses. I would say you're probably going to get about 2-3 classes per cinematic adventure. Not even 2-3. You're going to get about 3 of the generic classes plus 1 of the main classes as like standard ones, whatever. Like, I don't know if they're going to be like their own like self-contained book or not. That's the question. I guess we'll see next month. But I can tell you one thing. I can tell you one thing. Something's on the list when I get my grubby little hands on it. But I'm gonna call it there for tonight because I meant to stop streaming like an hour and a half ago. And my throat's giving out. So thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you all tomorrow at noon EST. We're going to go over a bunch of mech games. So hopefully everybody enjoys getting in giant robots and getting your shit rocked. As kind of... Hey guys, I'm going to level with you. They aren't very good, but we're going to learn about ourselves, okay? We're going to learn that Iron-Blooded Orphans was a mistake. Mechaton Zeta, that's my backup. That was my backup of like, hey, I have legitimately no idea what to do next. That was the... yeah, we're going over some weird ones. I have kind of I usually refer to them as kind of like the touchstone of like what the big ones. I have the 2 of the big ones. I'm going over the last one tonight. But yeah, I'm ready. We're going to be odd. All of them have something interesting with them. Godspeed, good luck, you know the rest. I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.